Welcome back to Left on Red, our first proper episode. Brenda, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm great, Jude. How are you?
Good. And can I firstly say thank you so much to all our listeners for making us number one in Ireland. Like, I can't believe it.
I know. Like I said to you, like there must be a glitch in the system.
Yeah, when I came into the studio, our producer Jay told us, I was like, what? Oh my God, isn't it unreal?
It was only 7 minutes of us just rambling and just pure shite talk. And just an intro, and we're we're so grateful, and like just keep listening. There's way more to come. So we've set the bar now, and we just want to keep going up and up. And a lot of like my friends and my followers are saying they loved it, and they're saying like we good chemistry and everything. But sure, we know that anyway.
But my brother just gave me a lift down to the studio there, and Sean was like, Julie, like, what were you like? He was like, your voice and all was shaking. He was like, you sounded so nervous. But I was very nervous.
Yeah, you were on stage. You were very nervous.
I was
probably a little less nervous because I suppose you've been on the radio loads as well, though.
See, that's it. And I think as well, because you're in the comfort of your own home, whilst I'm the one in the studio. And it's a bit like, oh, what's all this? You know, all the mics and all. Like, I'm hooked up to a lot of things. So I'm like, oh, I was very nervous. I actually
kind of feel now you're interviewing me because you're the one in the studio and I'm here in the flat
in
London. But anyway, come here. We had a podcast. There were so many technical glitches, so as well we want to apologise for the delay, like even getting up in the system. We're so sorry about that. So we've actually loads to catch up on. Tell me about your week. Tell me about your weekend.
Well, we went to Abba, so I brought my mum to see Abba, and you were in Abba.
I know.
Obviously different locations. I was in Rosscray and you were over in London, but we had a ball. Absolute ball. And you know, me and my mum dressed up. Did you see our outfit?
I saw it. I loved it.
I loved it. You didn't dress up. You were just in normal clothes.
No,
but did anybody dress up?
No, there was. When I came out and I saw you were there too, I was like, oh my God. And there was actually a load of people like you and Paula dressed up.
Yeah.
Do you know the way music can
bring back so many memories? It does. Songs brings back so many memories for me.
So powerful. And even I love Abba. You love Abba. But our one was kind of like you won't get this now because my sister didn't get it either when I was telling her about it. My Abba one, it wasn't like a tribute band that you were at. They were like holograms. They were actually there. Like,
but they weren't there in person. Was it a human being?
They were like holograms. You wouldn't get it. When I was trying to describe it to Julie, my sister, she thought we were going
this thing, a fucking hologram,
like some museum. She was like, she thought we were going to some Quasar museum. I was like, Julie, no, they're like, I'm telling you now, the mother. I called my mother the mother. Like, why'd you call Paul? You call Paul your mother, but you ever put the?
I don't call him the mother. I says my mum.
Oh yeah, I say the mother and the sister and the brother. But anyway, my sister thought we were like going playing Quasar, like you would in the Coliseum. But like they were actually like actual like hologram, unreal. But then I'd say your one was actually a tribute band.
Yeah, in fairness, they're very good now. Like that, I don't know a whole lot of ABBA songs. I know a couple of them. But my mom said it was the best night of like the year for her. Like she loved it. Absolutely loved. But like we were the only two dressed up. Brenda, wait till I tell you, right? So we were upstairs, we were getting ready, we put on our regouts. You've seen our regouts now, like. So we came downstairs and there was about 200 people. It was like a function room, a wedding, like function room or a ballroom, whatever you want to call it. And they're all sitting down waiting for the tribute band to start. So me and my mum walked in and everybody turned and looked at us. They thought we were the fucking band. And there was tables now and they were much older than our mums. Like, I'd say they came from the ICA groups around Ireland, and they stood up and they're like, best of luck now, best of luck. We were like, we're not the band. We're actually sitting there as well, like, hey, we're not the band.
But I must say, you went to some serious effort. But you always, Julie, like even when you're going away on holidays, you'd have all the rig out.
And
like,
it was all
matching. Serious effort.
Yeah, I know. In fairness, but you know what? We had a ball. We did. Now we had a go crack. Like
Paula is such a good sport. Like, oh my God, she's wild. But no wonder you get it from.
And you know, we came back to the hotel room then, and the hotel room had like old-fashioned curtains. They're gorgeous now. They're really heavy old-fashioned curtains. My mom then thought she was the Trap family. She wrapped herself around the curtains and was singing to the sound of music. See, my mom thinks we're the Trap family, like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
she's
such
wild.
a
She's wild, but as are you. Sure, Sean's a bit of wild and Sean as well. And sure, listen, your dad, like, come on.
Gosh, my dad.
Like,
everybody loved my dad, like.
He was a different
you know?
story altogether.
And what about me going out to London to surprise you?
Go on.
Oh, what an absolute donkey
I only thought about that today because I was on the phone there to someone and I was just saying I must go do the podcast now with Julie, and then I actually remember I was like, Dad, fucking go. Sorry now. But that fucking goal. I actually last night came home past the place where you and Miriam, where Miriam was meant to meet me. Go on, tell people how your plan went to absolute shite.
Shite isn't the word. So I was going over to London to an event, a Be Perfect event. So Be Perfect got onto myself and Miriam. They're like, look, we'll book your flights and your accommodation. So I was like, yeah, grand. They said, look, send me on your passport details and we'll get the flights booked. So I said, yeah, no hassle. So I rang Miriam and I says, Miriam, say nothing out to Brenda. You pretend to Brenda. It's just you going over and I'll hide her from my stories and block her as well. So Miriam was like, yeah, no worries. So she got on to you and was like, are you around for the weekend? I'm coming over to London. I'll be on my own. Would you like to meet up for breakfast? And you were like, yeah, of course I will, Miriam. Little did you know I was actually coming as well.
Yeah.
So Be Perfect had said to me when they were trying to book the flights, Julie, I'll fly you out at 4 o'clock on the Friday afternoon and I'll fly you back 4 o'clock on the Saturday. So that was implanted in my head, 4 o'clock the Friday, 4 o'clock the Saturday.
Yeah.
So by the time I got my passports and stuff sent over to the team at Be Perfect, the 4 o'clock flight back on the Saturday was gone. So she said, Julie, I'll just put you on the 12 o'clock flight. Even though I was reading it and I was telling my mum, but in my head I was still coming back at 4 o'clock because it was implanted in my brain. So the Saturday morning we woke up, we were meant to be meeting you. Well, Miriam was meant to be meeting you and realised then that somebody had messaged me and was like, oh, don't forget now your flight's at 12 o'clock. And I was like, what are you on about? This was like 10 o'clock. I was in a coffee shop. I was like, fuck, our flights after being changed. Oh.
After you, I remember I hadn't seen your stories, but I thought nothing of it. But although I tried to ring you on the Friday night because I was trying to start out something, the podcast, and I was trying to ring you. Now, I was feeling a bit unwell that weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, why isn't she answering me? I was like, there's something going on there. And then the way I turn off my phone, I don't turn it on until like I'm ready to go and I stay off social media and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then on the Saturday, I just went on my phone. I was just about to walk over to Baron's Court to Miriam, and I seen your one then, all dolled up in this big long black gown, right? Ekin-Su, say London, at this location, London, Ekin-Su event, or Unreal or something. And I'm there going, is she pretending she's at the event? She's in Cork.
Yeah.
I was like, why is she doing that? And then I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm hidden from her stories. She's actually putting up the fucking picture.
Post,
and I was like, I'm going to turn on my phone straight away to actually see my WhatsApps. Miriam, ring me, missed call. And then it clicked. And then I was like, what are they after doing? Of course, then I was in shock. And then I felt bad. I was like, why didn't I go to the event? And then you were like, was it Luton or Gatwick you were in?
Luton Airport, yeah.
Well, you never, what airport were you in? Do you even remember?
Oh, see, we were on our way to Heathrow and then Miriam was like, just double check now, Julie, that it's definitely Heathrow. So I went back onto my emails. I was like, Miriam, they're after fucking, they're flying us out from Luton.
How even made it to the other airport?
I never know.
One thing you can't do is surprise. I'm sorry, but you can't.
Oh, I'm so scatty, like. I am so scatty. So that went...
Do you know what's funny, actually? Do you know the way in your stories this morning, the key?
Oh, yeah.
You drive yourself out. Do you know the same thing is here? I'm getting so paranoid because I've got one of those doors here as well. I'm leaving the key out all the time. No, I shouldn't be saying this now. Sometimes under the mat when I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
Because even though I have a key with me, but I'm like, you're going to lock yourself out. Even when I put out the rubbish there, I put out 2 keys under the mat for like 5 seconds. I know. And I'm so convinced. And then I'm like watching you going, she's the same as me, scatty.
Scatty? Like I locked myself out again to myself, the kids, lashing rain, dead late from school. I'd get my neighbour over. She had to give the kids a lift to school. Oh, my mum had to get out of bed.
That's not the first time you've done that either. It's not.
Sure, how many times I have to get one of those key cutter people down like to get me and break into the feckin' house for me, like. Oh, it's a nightmare. I'm so scatty. I'm very scatty.
Learn from your mistakes. What did I do my week? I'm actually feel like getting sick now because I've to work nights tonight. God, Jesus Christ. 8:15. How am I going to survive? 8:15 till 7:30 in the morning, and then I have a dentist appointment after.
Come here, what about Christmas? Are you sorted? What will you do Christmas Day now?
Hoping, I know people might find out, but I'm hoping to work it because there's double pay.
Yeah.
And I tell you now, with my eye on a pair of Pradas, I tell you now. So I'm happy to work Christmas Day.
Yeah,
I want to treat myself to a nice pair of Prada loafers. I know now people be like, I shouldn't be saying that now because people are like, I thought she'd no notions. But you know the way when you're just mad for something? Do you know when there's one item? Yeah. Do you know when someone just wants maybe a nice handbag? Like a car. You know the way like you got your fab car, your Peugeot?
Yeah.
Like you were mad for that. Like I know it's not a car, but like sure feck it, I sold my car. So I've nothing really of, do you know when you have this one item I've nothing here. Like, do you know the way some people have a Chanel bag or they have something like a really expensive watch? I just want to buy the Prada, so I'm going to work Christmas Day. I'm working. They say Boxing Day over here, and to be careful there now because you called me out.
Oh, come here, with your hi mate, and then the next episode, I'm chuffed. I was going to block you. I was like, who's your one?
Jude, when did I say that?
I'm chuffed.
No, I know chuffed.
You called us mate in the group chat as well.
I did not.
You did, mate. All right, mate. I was like, I'll go away, will ya?
No, well, come here. One thing I have to say to you, right? I was waiting for this, right? And I have a confession as well, right? Hold on. To grab the phone. Do you know the way now with your spellings, right?
Yeah.
You're a bit... I do have a confession as well, right? Okay. So do you know the way with your Be Perfect or your voodoo lunch?
Yeah.
With your lovely little gift set, like, oh my God, do you know the way it's sold out? Like, I was actually on the phone to Sandra Murphy earlier, right?
Yeah.
And I was saying how unreal you are at selling stuff. And I was telling my sister last night about you because she was watching your stories, and I said she'd sell sand to the Arabs, that one. Like, you're unbelievable, right? But you know the way you sold everything out and you were full of emotion and everything, right? So you put up a post, right?
A post or a story?
Well, like, you see that there? I was on your stories just thanking everyone. You kind of can't see it there. But it was the box, and you put a ring around. It's sold out. You can't really see it there. Oh, yeah, see that?
I see it, yeah.
What's the wrong spelling there?
Under 12 hours. I've no words. We were not... Oh, probably were, is it?
No, go on.
Okay, we were not expecting that. Put the light on again. I'll be on later when I compose myself. Is compose spelled wrong?
No, go on.
I am... Wait, no, I can't say.
Oh, fuck.
I'm shocking. Is that what it said, Jay?
I was there. I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy for her because I'm genuinely so happy for you. And like, that'll just show you as well how popular you are, people, right? Oh. But I was reading it, I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy for her. And then I am shocking. I was like, oh no. Like, no. So I had to screenshot that, right? So then I was like, you know what now? Although, listen, the confession is, I'm going into the camera very much here. I'm going to have to lean back there. I wrote something the other day and I wrote it very quickly, and my friend Trish actually messaged me and she said, you were giving out to Julie about her spelling of there.
Yeah.
And I spelled there wrong, and I was actually like, is Julie going to notice it? But you didn't notice it.
Of course I wouldn't.
I did, but it was just really quick, and I replied back to my friend kind of going, yeah, I know I did, all right, but I was too lazy to go back to it. But I knew I did, but then I was like, I hope Julie doesn't see it, but you didn't see it.
What was it on your story, is it?
Yeah, it was like I went to do THEY apostrophe RE, and I put THEIR, and I was like, do you know the way, you know what, if you want to get something wrong, go on Instagram or Twitter or something, because people will come on and correct you straight away. Like, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. But like, I was just like, I'm not changing it now because it was too late in the day. But I was like, hope she doesn't see it. But what I was thinking was, I want to do something, right? And again, listen, I'm no smart one here at all, because as I said to you, I have a history degree, and like, I couldn't tell you. I'm not. I hand on heart. No, what year was World War I? Not sure.
Yeah,
like World War II. Like, I was going off being a history teacher, and like, I went up to do an interview for it with Hibernia. You know, the one you pay for when you're not, like, when you're trying to like cut corners and go in and do it online. Like, your man was going on to me about the Russian Revolution or something. I was like, oh, what? Like, no.
But why were you going to Hibernia? Is that not insurance?
No, girl.
What were you doing? Like, what's that?
No, it's like an online college. You know the way you can do a postgrad in UCC, but like the places for that, I don't know really. I was just going to do it, going to actually pay like a couple of grand for it, but I had no interest. My heart was always in radio, like in television, but you know, inside you when you don't have the confidence. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go off, and this radio thing is too hard, and I'm never, you know, I didn't have the belief I did now in it, you know. And I was like, oh, I have a history degree and I have a higher diploma in geography. Again, not sure. Ask me the capital. Well, I'm okay with capitals, but like, when it comes to like volcanoes and all that, like lava and all that, like, what are you on about? Do you know, I didn't pay attention.
Hate stuff like that, yeah. And did you finish the course, like, the history one?
The history one, but like, I used the history thing. Like, yeah, I have a degree in history, but again, like, couldn't tell you, like, like, I wouldn't be as bad, no, as some people, but a lot
of me, stuff, is what you're trying to say, is it?
Well, no, like, there's some people, like, for someone who has a history degree, like, you know, I wouldn't know, like, oh, I can't say, like, I can't, well, that's not, I was going to say I can't sing, I don't know the words of the Irish national anthem, that's different, like, you probably don't know them either, although you might.
No, I mumble like, you know, I skip a couple of
Yeah,
words
you know,
here
we
and
all
there,
know
like,
the end of it,
yeah.
we fucking go wild, but yeah, I just don't. So what I'm saying is, for anyone, if they're thinking, any of the listeners might go, oh my God, she's taking the piss out of Julie all the time with her spelling. I'm putting my hands up with the history thing. Like, if people want to send in questions, history stuff, test my knowledge, like, you're more than welcome to, you know what I mean? But what I want for you, right?
Yeah.
I want to do like a Brenda and Jewel back to school, right?
Okay. So in this segment,
even I
we're
need to
going
go
to do...
back.
Yeah.
So I want to give you a word.
Yeah.
Right? Now, for some reason, I was like, that might be one for Julie now. I'm going to give you the word for next week to have, okay? And it's indigenous.
Stop. What kind of word? How do you spell
that? It's not that hard.
Do I have to go home now and learn how to spell it? I don't even know what it means.
Give it a lash there. Go on, just go on. Is it I
wait, now to start. I have to write it as well.
Don't be Googling. Put your head up there now.
I'm writing. I have to write it. Say it again.
Right. Indigenous.
Indigenous. I-N-D-G. I got it. E-N.
Look it up later.
What does it mean? Tell me what it means.
Well, it's kind of like, oh, Julie, you're going to catch me now on that. Indigenous.
She's asking me a spell it.
It's kind of like, oh, there's, oh no, I'm not 100%. I don't want to people correcting now. It's kind of indigenous people or something like.
Would you be an indigenous person?
Indigenous, for some reason. I was online earlier and I was reading something on Sky News and I saw indigenous. I goes, that can be her word of the week. So indigenous.
It's so indigenous. Okay.
So that's Brenda and Jewel back to school. So you're going to get.
See, that's. Can you hear Jay? What he's saying?
What's he saying?
Okay, Jay is telling me there's another word for native.
Okay, yeah. Yes, indigenous people, native people, yeah. There's another kind of term coming up saying that, so I don't want to be wrong. So, yes, he'd Google that as well, I bet, didn't he?
Of course he's Googling it. Yeah, he's out there, he's laughing. He's like, yeah, I'm Googling.
So, indigenous is your word for next week, right? If you want to test my knowledge, you look like you do.
Yeah. Right. I am going to ask you a question. Right, are you ready?
Oh, come here. Go on. Julie, go on.
I could ask you two because I think one of them might be easy enough. Who was the first explorer to sail around the world? Is that history?
Christopher Columbus.
Was that? I forgot to take down the answers.
The second answer.
I wrote down the questions. I have no answers.
Get Jay to Google it. It has to be Christopher
He's
Columbus.
He's laughing out there. He's
I'm going back to the
Googling
history teaching. Go on. Give me another one. Give me another lash.
Magellan.
Who?
Magellan?
No, it was Chris. It was Shackleton did a bit of all touring as well.
Columbus
Yes.
Discovered America.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So he didn't sail around the world first?
Right. Well, it was halfway there anyway.
You're wrong. Okay. In what year was the Battle of Hastings?
Oh, for fuck's sake. I know Hastings is in England anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I was asking my brother as well a while ago. He said that. He goes, it's over in England.
I don't have a clue. 1845.
I don't know either. I actually just... 1066, is that? Yeah, Jay is saying 1066.
1066, right, there we go. Right.
You're only about 800 years off.
So, listen, that's how, I mean, as I said, Brenda and Jewel back to school, like, gonna have to start learning, gonna have to start reading some history books or watching, I don't know, History Channel or David Attenborough or something, just to up the knowledge.
I come out, did you go to school in Cork?
Hold on, I actually meant to say this as well to you. I'd forgotten this. So anyway, I'm from Cork, right? And I actually love doing this podcast because the Cork comes out more, because I have to tone it down a bit here at times, because like when my mother was over, the weekend, and my sister, the sister, I was totally like, oh my God, girl, because my mother's always girl. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it's a Cork thing, girl. Like, or like, I say like girl. At every sentence.
Do you know what we call people in their, like, women in their 80s, like, girl, and like you might even call a man, like, how you boy, you know?
Yeah.
Man, you know?
It's a Cork thing.
So even when the mother's over, like, I'm like, girl, and I know the Corkness comes out when I'm speaking to you. But anyway, I pride myself in that I'm from Cork. I live in Ballydesson, which is, the village is in Cork, right? And I went to school in Boherbue, which is Cork, and then I worked in Cork for years. So I was on the phone to yourself, and we were chatting away, and you were, and you're Kerry. I was like, excuse me? She's like, and you're Kerry. Are you not from Kerry? And I was like, no, God, I'm from Cork. Like,
and this was only last week.
Kerry?
Because we were getting so much support, and like when people were sharing our graphic and stuff on Instagram, like, oh, 2 Cork girls, this will be gas crack, whatever.
Like, thinking you're doing it with some Kerry ones.
I was like, to God love them. They think no, Brenda's from Cork, but really she's from Kerry. But like, I was thinking to myself, you were born and reared in Kerry, but you were living up in Cork for years and years. No. So we kind of adopted you, do you know?
Where I'm from, it's very like, do you know the way people are very like some kind of Carrigaline, Douglas, so near each other? Like where my house is in Ballydesson, like I'm looking at Kerry. And I love, like my mom is Kerry. Most of my school friends were Kerry. Like I went to school in Tralee for a year. Yeah. I've so many friends from Kerry, and I love Kerry. It's like such a beautiful county. The only thing, whatever it was always the football rivalry between Cork and Kerry. Yeah. That used to drive me demented, like on match day against Kerry, like going around Killarney, like pure, like I wouldn't even, so much a dickhead like I was. I wouldn't even barely speak to my Kerry friends, you know. I'd be like, oh, we're playing today and fucking Kerry pricks and all this. Do you know all this
just with a banter, like.
Football, so serious. And I wouldn't even speak to my friends, like, what? And then, God forbid, if Kerry beat Cork, going to school the next day, because half of my national school were Kerry, and the doing you'd get, I'm sure he was sulking then, you know, but like I don't take it that kind of serious anymore. But yeah, I can't believe you said that. Sure,
I couldn't believe you were from Cork. I always thought, like as I said, you were born, reared in Kerry, and just worked up here for years and years.
I think I do. You see, when I'm in Cork, they was always like, oh, it's a bit of Kerry and you. But when I go to Kerry, then they're like, oh, you're definitely Cork. So that's the mix. There's a mix between it all. Yeah. And I suppose now we're throwing in a few English words like chuffed and blimey and
mate,
bloke. No, I do use the word bloke a bit. And but this is the thing. I'd be watching some people on Instagram, right, and they'd be putting on, they wouldn't be putting on, but they'd have a bit of American twang or something, right? But they're Irish. And I'm there, for God's sake, that doesn't happen at all. But honestly, sometimes these words, they just drop out of me, and I'm not.
And I could see with my own twins, like, my two are always watching YouTube and stuff, and my fiancé calling the bin, the trash bin. Or like the garbage man is coming, the garbage bin. I'm like, what are you on about? Like, you know?
You don't say that, you know. So
you don't know? Or like last week now, I says to him, what will we do now for the day? And my fiance says, we'll go to Chuck E. Cheese, Mum. I'm like, we don't have a Chuck E. Cheese over here, like, you know. And it's all down to YouTube and watching and listening to other people, you know.
And come here, this question, no, everyone hates. I didn't ask you this. You all set for Christmas?
Are you all set for Christmas, girl?
But are you all set for Christmas?
You know what? No.
Sorted and all.
You know yourself, you're always buying, like, you know, a Fionn came home there about 2 weeks ago from school, and all along he just wanted kind of this Ryan's World now, and what else now? Nerf guns. And all of a sudden he came home from school, he was like, Mom, I love Liverpool. My poor Fionn hadn't a clue what Liverpool is. I was like, okay. And he was like, so I want a Liverpool jersey and a Liverpool football for Christmas off Santa. So I went to...
It's the same we shouldn't say about Santa.
No, I think this is like an adult podcast. Like, I think we could talk.
This is it. But like, do you know the way sometimes
Jay, our producer, was just talking just there.
This is a good topic. Do you know what's a great topic as well? Where we found out there was no Santa.
I know, but that's me. Like, no little ears around.
Do you know what I used to think? Right, you know what, I get very impulsive at times. I used to want to go on Red FM sometimes and just say on the radio, "There's no such thing as Santa." Like, and I used
a little girl.
Not go on. But I used to. I remember saying to the lads,
"You're the Grinch."
Could you imagine if you just? I said, imagine the drama if you went on air and said it with a load of children. Like the drama, like you'd be killed. Like, I used to be thinking about just the drama of it. Obviously, you wouldn't. You know, I don't have kids, but I love saying this. Like, I was on the phone to my niece there last week, and I was like, "And is Santy coming?" And you know, it's cute, and I love how parents can bribe the kids. Joe, I think it's hilarious. Since Santy won't be coming now,
I love it. I'm doing it the last 2-3 months.
What?
Well, I use after fucking Christmas. I'll have to start using the Easter Bunny or something.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny. No, next St. Patrick, you could do something with
St. Patrick's coming back. He's going to take you out to the country. Banish you.
Easter Bunny.
Fiona there be banished if you don't do what you're told.
Yeah, but go on. You were saying about...
Oh, yeah, so you wanted a football.
Did you give that ball back?
Fucking football, €28. I said that thing. What's that ball called in Castaway? Winston, is it?
Oh yeah, that's my dog.
That's your dog. Is it Winston?
Oh stop! Is
Winston or something? Wilson. It's Wilson. Yeah, Wilson. I was like, that dog, that fucking ball would want to talk back to him like for €28.
You're a bigger feckin' eight now buying it.
But you couldn't give it back,
Jude. I know the way you are.
Oh, girl, I was so embarrassed. I picked it up. It was in one of these basket yokes, so I was getting him his jersey. I don't mind getting him a jersey, all right? And I was like, I'll get him the ball. I thought in my head the football would be about a tenner.
Yeah.
I went up to the till anyway, and the young fella was like, oh, you're getting the kit. I goes, yeah, but the Liverpool jersey. And the ball now is €28. I nearly fucking fell to the ground, and I was too embarrassed to say, the young fella, bring that back now, quick. But I had to get it then, €28.
I know, but you couldn't take it back. You couldn't. It's too embarrassing.
It's too embarrassing. If you now have a football and he won't be allowed to kick it for €28, it's going to be on a mantelpiece.
He'll probably use it for a day or two, and then he'll just, I don't know, start playing with a box or something.
I'm sure he'll probably go on to Man United then, or Celtic or something. Yeah. You know, kids now, like.
Then probably Argentina now.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
You know, with Messi after winning. Well, you don't know who that is now, do you?
I seen it, all right, yesterday. He won the World Cup, wasn't it?
Good, come here. I was chatting to my mom yesterday, the mother. And we were just picking up on things. But you know, I said actually I was having a bit of a dry spell with the all dating, you know?
Yeah.
And my sister, I was actually on the phone with some lads there earlier, and they were even asking, since spoken to them for a while, what's the story of the date now? But Julie, I've no feckin', I don't know what it is, like this thing, do you have anyone to kiss under the mistletoe and all this? Like, I don't know, I was there the other day going, am I gone asexual? Is there something, what's going on? There's nothing.
Are you still on Tinder, and do you have Hinge and Bumble and all that as well?
Actually, I got a message there from some lad that I'm on Bumble. A notification came up. What did he say to me? I spoke to him, Jeffrey. Hold on, Jeffrey. Can you see him there? Good old Jeffrey.
Oh, he looks like a Jeffrey. Jesus.
Hold on. I don't know, he's wearing scrubs, right?
Oh, is he
so
a doctor?
I don't know, is he a doctor or a nurse? He's a pint of Guinness as well, so...
Is he Irish?
I don't think he is, but he says he's narcissistic. Oh, no. I'm a grey +1 because you will find out that out. Now, that doesn't make sense. 5'9", always shave off 2 inches there anyway.
Yeah.
He's 5'7". Undergraduate relationship. The one when they say have kids, don't want more.
Oh, so he's a dad, is he?
Yeah, it's a dad, all right. But anyway, 9th November, this is me. Oh, he sent me a question. I just ghost them all, right? All right, Jeffrey. Or I prefer to call you Jeff, I said.
Is this your first message to him?
Yeah.
All right, Jeffrey.
Please. Jeff, please. And Brenda is Brenda is an old school name. I like it. I'm good. We just got into work yourself. 9th November, no reply from me. Then today at 1:30, hello, beautiful. And then I just don't reply. Then the last fella, he was messaging me. I was telling him I like my fitness. I work in finance, investments and insurance. What type of journalism do you do? This is the 16th November. Gone. So
when you messaged him back, he never messaged you back, or did you?
No, I never messaged him back, and Jeffrey came back. But you know what? The funny thing is, I was telling someone about me ghosting them, whatever, and then they were like, "Well, that's unfair because you're ghosting all of them," which I have, but that's my headspace. But then I was thinking about the situation, whereas I'm the ghoster now, but I was the ghostee one time, and like that story about me being the ghostee, where it was done to me, like. I was seeing a guy who probably had told you the story, but I was seeing a guy for 3 years, three feckin' years. And I was like, I was only 21 and I was working in the bank in Tralee, and I thought I was the big shit now working in the bank. We had a suit and all, I had a name tag and all, AIB Bank in Tralee. And whatever, he moved to London, and I was like, oh, I'll go over in a few weeks, whatever. And like the hard woman is going to go off, and with my first official trip going away somewhere on my own, you know. So I was actually working in the bank, making great money in the bank. No, I thought it had made, no, like, do you know what I mean? You swear I was Erin Brockovich, no, the way I was carrying on. So anyway, going out with this lad for 3 years. So anyway, I'll cut a long story short. The week before I was meant to go anyway, he lost his phone, and he was like, can you put like 500 euros into my bank account? And I was working in the bank. So he's like, oh, it's actually a girl I'm living with her account. And that time you could go through anyone's account in AIB. What a laugh we used to have. Like, if you'd fancy someone, we'll say no, you say you to me, or you like John Murphy, I'd be like, girl, yeah, he's a few bob there. Right? You could check what they had. Like, it was amazing. Really, you can't do it now.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to know it's someone money, you could just go in. But at the other time as well, there was another fella at the time I was kind of seeing, and I remember seeing he was in Poland and he never told me about it, but I could never tell him.
Okay. Because he was using his card out in Poland.
This is a different fella, yeah. And I was like, so had you a nice weekend? And he was just kind of like, yeah, it's great. I was like, what you get up to? And he was like, just did not, just stayed in Cork. And I was down Tralee. I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, you
lying fucker.
I couldn't say because you couldn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, so your man anyway lost his phone, told me he'd get a phone. So anyway, Monday came, Tuesday came, Wednesday came. I put the money into the account like a dickhead. But anyway, I just be that way. So anyway, he told me he'd ring me and get a new phone. So Wednesday came. I didn't know the address he was at. Thursday came. I'd everyone told now, Julie. You'd swear now I went up on the altar in Ballydesmond at Mass, telling everyone, listen, I'm going to London there to meet the boyfriend. I'm the big shit here now. Friday came, and I remember my sister was coming to Tralee to pick me up from Farm 4 Airport, take me to Farm 4 Airport, at the shed, as I call it. And your man hadn't rang me or anything all week, and like I'd everyone told, and I was like, what will I do? What will I do? I'm going on with this fella for 3 years. The mortification was killing me so bad. I couldn't tell people what was after happening to me. I couldn't. So I got on the plane. At that time, I was kind of drinking at the time. You know, I don't drink anymore now because it just doesn't make me feel good. But at that time, I tell you one thing, I remember telling the sister, stop at the Sintran Farm 4, and I lashed back and nagging a vodka. Of course, then I was mad for road. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to
London. Courage,
I'm going to track him down now around Cricklewood or Kilburn. Went over to London, remember anyway, going into Liverpool Street, nothing booked, no accommodation, no nothing. Remember going into a bar with my AIB uniform on and just went drinking, and some fella, he obviously knew there was something not right, and he was kind of like trying to help me, and then he walked me to a hotel, because I know back in the day when I think about it, but anyway, found a hotel anyway. It's actually heartbroken. I think I actually shifted him outside the hotel, right? I went up to my room, right? Because I was like, Greg was his name, I'll never forget him. I swear to God, if I saw him walking down the street, I'd be like, you're the man that saved me that night. It could have gone the other way, but listen, but I remember shifting him going, that's fucked in your man. Woke up the next day, I'll never forget, I was like, it was the worst heartbreak ever. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I remember going, go fucking shopping. So I got up anyway, went into Gap. Remember when Gap was a big thing back in the day? Like, no, there was no Gap in Cork now. Went into Gap and I bought myself like a nice shirt and a pair of jeans, and I was cheering myself up. And that whole weekend, I just went off and like shopping, drinking. I remember Cork and Kerry were playing, went into Waxy's, the Irish bar, absolutely heartbroken. I knew he wouldn't ring me. Came home then, told everyone, great time with the ex. Oh my God, all loved up. And then I remember one time I was actually coming home from my AIB Christmas or summer party. I think, no, actually, there was another fella I shifted that night again. But the Sunday night after the Cork Kerry match, and that's how I roll. Like, if I want to get over someone, I get under someone else. And your man, that was in July. And you know when that ex rang me again? Guess, that was July now. To even like, he knew I was over in London, but never reached me. Guess.
2 months later?
October, so July.
3 months later.
And I said, why did you do that? And he said, I don't know.
Oh, what an absolute pig.
I don't know. So that, I'm speaking about ghosting people here, so I was the ghosty. So I don't know, like, my look is usually either I'm being ghosted or they're ghosting me, and I know yours is like being catfished. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't.
Do you know that story actually went viral? Like newspapers in Portugal, Turkey, an Australian radio rang me.
That was it. I
remember, like, it just went all over the world. Like, no wonder.
I remember you sending it into a group, and like, wasn't there was some like, even like, I think it was Russian, like, we couldn't understand
the writing.
Writing, so funny. But I remember, wasn't he pretending to be a builder from Limerick? I remember my friend, I won't say who she was, she got caught by the same fella. And when you were telling the story, I remember messaging you going, is it this fella?
Yeah, because she messaged me afterwards, after a couple of days, when I explained my catfish story on my Instagram. Your friend, we call her Mary, messaged me and was like, Julie, is this the guy? And she sent me loads of pictures as well. And I was like, my God, that's him. And there's about 6 or 7 other women after her messaged me and was like, Julie, is this him? And I was like, yeah. So he's doing it to a lot of women, especially in the Munster area, down in Cork now and Kerry.
And I remember come here, you were all loved up with him. Like you were.
I had him up the aisle and all at one stage. Like in my head, I had him up the aisle. I just thought he was lovely. He was handsome. He was fucking normal. He used to talk normal to me.
Yeah.
Like never asked me now for pictures or like talk dirty to me. Never, nothing like that. So like thinking back now, I'm like, was it a woman that was just lonely at home? Was it an elderly man? That's, because a young fella would definitely chance their arm, like send me a picture, or like, what would you do now if you were here with me? You know the way they are now, like nothing.
Usually, yeah.
Nothing.
When they start going on with the kind of, oh, what are you doing? And then when they start turning it into the dirty talk, I lose all interest. I'm like, why'd you ruin it?
Oh, I'd be in bed and I'll watch Netflix, and a fella could be like, oh, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'm downstairs, unloading the dishwasher. In the meantime, now I'm lying down in bed. I'm like, I'm not saying that because I know what's going to come next. Yeah. So I'd be like, I'm just downstairs unloading the dishwasher. What about you? In the meantime, now I'm sprawled out in bed, like watching my Netflix. But I'm not saying that to you. Absolutely.
How I know that fella, I remember the picture, you'd be looking at pictures. Didn't he have like a setup of some... He was a carpenter or builder, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was a twin as well. So once I told him I had twins, he's like, oh, sure, I'm a twin brother myself. And then he was trying to tell me that his twin brother had twins. And he sent me a picture of him holding the twins, and they're all matching, wearing the same Celtic jerseys. What a picture now. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the next day, I got pictures of him and his dogs. Oh, like I fell in love. Like, gone now, I was in love. I was like to myself, I'll go on my date with him now next week, and I'll have him up the island 2 fucking years. The dogs and all, and the niece and the nephew could be the flower girl and the page boy.
I remember you were absolutely
weak.
And then you see, what wasn't it that? How did it come that like you were being conned?
Because I had told him then, he was asking me who I was going to spend Christmas with. It was actually probably this time last year.
Probably, yeah.
And I was like, oh, just my mum, my brother, my dad sadly passed away a couple of months ago. And he was like, oh my God, Julie, I'm so sorry to hear that. He said, look, if it's any consolation, my own dad passed away about 2 or 3 years ago. And look, it will get a bit easier for you, do you know? And like, he was really supportive. So then I went on to RIP and I was looking for the dad's name.
Go on.
So I went on to RIP.ie. He was out telling me he was from Limerick, and he told me the town in Limerick he was from, and he told me that he owned this company, like this carpentry company. So I went on to RIP, put in his surname, and like nothing. Oh, the man came up, his dad came up, but like he wasn't related to your man at all, like, you know. So then when I called him out on it, he called me a psycho. Me? I was like, I'm not the one fucking sitting at home pretending I'm some other person, you fucking idiot. Then he blocked me. Oh.
The RIP, like, I'd forgotten that part. That was groundbreaking. But you see, do you know what? Us women, we're private investigators when it comes to that stuff.
The best. Oh, do you know who was now? I'm taking the credit. Was Tara. She was brilliant. Because I told all of you in the group chat, but Tara rang me. She's like, are you sure about this fella? Because he seems really nice. Like, there's something up here. I was like, no, girl, I'm telling you now, I'm weak. So she was like, I was telling her anyway the story, and then she was like, come on, let's go on to RIP. We'll look for the dad. So we went on, and that's when it all started unraveling. Then I was like, this
isn't it crazy what you'll do?
Oh, come here, all the stuff I be up to. And then I Googled his number, because I had his number as well, because we were chatting on WhatsApp. And like, if you Google somebody's number, there's this thing, it's like a thread, and like a load of people had written into the thread, oh, this is very suspicious, I'm texting this guy, and like, he's not who he's saying he is at all. So so that's another way of catching them out, is putting in the phone, or the Google reverse the picture thing. Do you ever do that?
Yes, the reverse image. Yeah,
that's very handy as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember a friend of mine, she was again loved it. This is at the very start now, when no one even knew what catfish was.
Yeah,
well, this is back now, I'd say 8 years, and your man he was holding a surfboard, and you could only see one side of his face, and like he looked amazing. But if you saw the picture now, you'd be like, oh my God, what gums he were.
Yeah.
But again, a lovely fella and everything. But then I was like, too good to be true. So I was like, that there's something. He wouldn't meet up with my friend anyway. She kept trying to meet him. He said, Limerick again. They're all from back in Limerick.
Yeah.
So anyway, she tried to meet up with him again, and then I was like, that picture just isn't right. So I remember Googling, his surfboard had some kind of a name, like Rip Curl or something. Wasn't it some model fella for a magazine over in LA?
Yeah, do you know that actually happened to me about 2 or 3 weeks ago, like that? Match with this fella, chatting away. And I was like, I'll use this picture in this Google reverse thing or whatever you call it. Put his picture in. Did it turn out it was like this gay fella on TikTok? He's a content creator. Yeah. He had a partner and everything, like, and they were using this boy's picture. I was like, you absolute psycho, like. But yeah, it's very handy to use that.
Isn't it? You'd have to wonder sometimes in like people, do you know the way sometimes you'd see someone online then? And you'd be like, come here, he's married. What's he doing that? That's definitely someone trying to get someone back. Because, like, you could put anyone's picture up.
Of course you could, yeah, exactly.
But you know what's funny, though? Actually, the odd time, oh, God, I'm out myself here now, but anyway, feck it, it's funny. The odd time oh my God, have you been on Plenty of Fish? Jesus Christ,
I hate that one. Oh, you have to delete that.
I did join it once during the pandemic. We were all on, like, I was not addicted, but like I needed entertainment. Because you know, during the pandemic, I was living on my own. I couldn't go anywhere. Everyone was at it, but I remember on Plenty of Fish, you know, it was kind of, are you on Plenty of Fish? And I remember people were seeing me on it, and then after a while I was like, they're like, what are you doing that thing? And I was like, oh, that's that's not me, report it, and it was me.
You some attendant, wasn't you?
I think I called myself Bubbly Brenda 90210, which was my fucking Bebo name. They were like, they'd be like, Bubbly Brenda. I'd be like, not me, report it.
Oh,
but anyway.
What a gobshite.
Oh my God, what a hoot.
I think that's all our ska, all our news, isn't it? I have none anyway. Do you have any, Brent?
No, do you know what? When I say ska over here, they're like, "What's ska?" Like ska. It just won't get it. So that's all the news now for now. I want, hopefully, as our podcast, I still can't believe it. Like, there's a glitch somewhere. Is number one. We just want to keep going. So if you could please like and subscribe.
And rate it, isn't it? Somebody said they have to rate it.
Yeah, rate it. Give us 5 stars, please. Even give us any kind of a star. We just want to be rated because
that really helps.
Yeah, it will really help. And we're new and we're fresh. And
this is just the start of it. So this is our first proper episode, and we'll be back next week for our Christmas bonus. So.
And if anyone wants to email as well. So if anyone wants to email us also in reaction to anything, any stories, like if anyone has any good ghosting stories or any catfish stories, we'd love that. We can read out in the next one. So our email is leftonredpod22@gmail.com.
Good woman, Brenda. And on that note, we will wish all our lovely listeners a very happy Christmas.
Yes. And, oh my God, happy Christmas, everyone.
I know. Have a great Christmas.
Have the best time.
We'll talk to you again next week, please, God.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.